Hey everyone, and my name is Anna. I've been teaching English for 6 years, and today I would like to tell you how to cope with the language barrier. It's such a big problem for students who start to learn English, or even I think sometimes even it's a barrier which people have who are studying English for a long time, but after they had long break, and after that period, they it's pretty difficult to start to speak again, and they're afraid of this. Also, there is a special category of people, for example, adults. For children to start speaking, it's not such a big deal, so they don't care. So do they use mistakes or not? But for adults, so they're so organized, and they would like to be perfect in everything, and that's why this kind of people, they have a barrier. So let's go to the main point: how to cope with this. Actually, I can suggest to visit some classes where you can speak only in English, and if you have this possibility to go to, for example, to England or Australia, Canada, or the USA to attend some English classes in a group. But it's so important to go alone and without any friends, classmates, or so on. Yeah, I know maybe it's a little bit scary, yes, but believe me, the effect is like 150% more if you go alone. So the second point, you need to ask to be in a group. For example, if you're German, so it's better to be in a group where there is no German at all, so you don't have the possibility to ask in German. So what is important? You don't need to change your language. If you don't understand, the person should show you, or you should show with a body language, or you can use paraphrasing or something like that. So the main point, you don't need to skip from one language to the other. So of course our brain tries to find the easiest way how not to learn, how not to so to find the easiest way to achieve something. Yeah, and to learn language, it's not such an easy way. That's why it's better to go alone. Secondly, you need to be the only one nationality in the group. Yeah, and it's very important to spend minimum 10-15 minutes per day to study. So it's not so effective, for example, if you spend all your Sunday studying English or German or French. It's not important which language you are studying. The effectiveness is so how often you do this, but it's not about the time. So if you repeat it like 7 times every day, so it's more effective if you repeat it once a week, but like for 3 hours. So that the effect is stability. It's also so important. So for example, you can study English every day, sorry guys, 7 days a week, but after you have like 2 weeks break because you have a holiday or something like that, or there can be different reasons. So it's not effective at all. Where you are, it's not important. 15 minutes, it should be like the law. And language, it's difficult to study, to learn, but it's so easy to forget this. So that's why you need to practice. To practice as more as possible. So, for example, you can speak with yourself. Yeah, I know it can be. It sounds so strange, but how do I learn my French? Sometimes when I'm going from my house to the bus stop, so I try to speak with myself, but in French. So I try to make some sentences, some answers, some questions, and so on, but in French. And believe me, it's very effective. Also, what you need to do, you can watch some serials, you can read some books. Most of us, we are visuals, so we need to watch, we need to look at something, and we better understand it. So it's very, very important for us to see the picture. When we are watching serial, we need to look at this, so we should be concentrated. And I highly recommend to watch serial without subtitles, because when you're watching serial with subtitles, it's like you are reading a book. So that's what is important. I think I told you like the most popular methods how to cope with a language barrier. It's not important the language which you are learning, the methods, they are so similar to each other. So it's very important to practice with stability, and you need to remember that language is very easy to forget. So you need to maintain this all the time, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's normal. It's not your native language. Even in our language, we are doing some mistakes. So the more you study, the more you will recognize your mistakes, and the less mistakes you will have. So everybody, I wish you good day. I hope I help you with some of your problems, and in the future you won't have any barriers to speak. Don't be afraid. Smile to people, and it will be the perfect connection to start the conversation. So everybody, bye.